We've got another Joseph Raisinette Biden. Joseph Raisinette Brandon. He gave an interview here to CNN, and everybody's having fun with this particular line from him. Let's listen.
Tell, but he's clearly losing the war in Iraq. He's losing the war at home, and he has become a bit of a fly around the world. It's not just NATO. It's not just the European Union. It's Japan.
So I don't know if you caught it. It's kind of hard because you got the sound of I think the helicopter in the background there. But he's talking about Putin, and he says Putin is losing.
But he's clearly losing the war in Iraq. He's losing the war at home.
He's clearly losing the war in Iraq. He's losing the war at home. Vladimir Putin is losing the war in Iraq. He's losing the war at home. Yeah, dog, that's not the war he's in right now. He invaded Ukraine. That's what he did. There's a war in Ukraine. It is not a war in Iraq. Now, apparently he said this multiple times in one day. See, right below it, Alex Thompson. Wasn't in the pool report last night, but Biden made the same flub at a fundraiser as well. Both last night at a fundraiser, plus then again this morning at the White House, President Biden referred to Ukraine as Iraq and said, "My new best friend, the Prime Minister of China," before correcting himself to say the Prime Minister of India. Now, look, as somebody who's a public speaker, which I am, on the one hand, I'm sympathetic, right? Because I make mistakes all the time. I mean, there was video the other day. Remember when we were talking about the Titanic submersible? In the video on that, like 3 or 4 times in the same video, in succession, I said, it goes underground, underground, underground. And my editor, Peter, reached out to me and was like, "You kept saying underground. It's obviously underwater." And I was like, "Ugh, I'm such an idiot. I'm helpless. I'm utterly helpless." And so we did a little, correction thing on screen. So on the one hand, I want to be kind. I want to be fair. Right? Yeah, it happens. Sometimes it happens. The issue vis-a-vis Biden is that it happens like literally every day. Right? He's given us some classic moments. Some of them are kind of funny, right? Remember when he was like, "Jackie, you in the audience? Jackie, where are you, Jackie? We love Jackie." And Jackie had died like a few months back. Like, And with this, one time, let it ride, no big deal. But he did it again and then again. And it's just, look, you lost a step. You didn't lose a step. You lost 14 steps, okay? Because you go back, don't take my word for it, man. And I should have pulled this up in this segment here, but you go back and look at his debate with Paul Ryan back in 2012. He obliterated that kid. He embarrassed him. It was a joke. You even go back and look at interviews from 2015 and 2016. He is way sharper than he is today. So it's actually kind of sad. Look, he's not at Feinstein levels. I think that's fair to say. Feinstein is significantly worse shape than Joe Biden is, but he's still... It ain't good. It ain't good. I'll leave it at that. So final point is, man, how dishonest is it that the media is not treating the primary as legitimate? That, they're running cover for Biden and saying, you don't have to debate RFK, you don't have to debate Marianne Williamson. It's so dishonest. And we don't think they're serious. Okay, but you can believe that, but it is your obligation and responsibility to still discuss the primary and the process and interview these people and come out in favor of debates. Again, you don't have to believe yourself, I'm talking to mainstream media people here, that these are serious candidates. You could hate them for all I care. But you have to argue for a democratic process because we live in a democracy. You can't say, no debates, I'm going to run cover for Joe Biden. I'm going to pretend like this thing is over. When every day we get something like this, which is like, I don't know, man, he seems sort of like he's ripe for a challenge. And you never know what would happen if these people were given a fair shot. Give them a fair shot. Cover their campaigns. Interview them. Let Americans know they actually have an option. They have a choice. People don't follow politics religiously like you do and like I do, so they don't even know. Hey, who are my choices? What's going on here? It's just they're being force-fed Biden. And when you have stuff like this, you want to talk about emboldening the Republicans. I mean, I think you are rolling dice with the future of the country by acting like Biden is inevitable and just forcing him to the general election. I really do. because I think Marianne Williamson would be a much better, much more electable candidate against somebody like Donald Trump or Ron DeSantis. You know, I'm really like, you're worried if it's like Biden running against one of those guys, especially Biden in a debate with those guys. Oh my God, it's a terrifying prospect. If he just has a bad night, you know, and he calls the moderator Hunter, or Lord only knows what other kind of mess ups he can have, we're in trouble if that's the case, man. And I don't want to have to think about a neo-fascist takeover, which at this point I think it's fair to use the term neo-fascist to describe the rising tide of extremism on the right. So, for the love of God, take the primary seriously. Cover Marianne, interview Marianne, even do it with RFK. I'm not even a fan of RFK, but interview him. Let's have debates. I can't go through this again. I can't go through another Trump versus Biden general election. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.